The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audience.
Make sure everything good. Check. Y'all can hear me. Oh, y'all should be able to hear me. I'm now on mute. Good. Let's go, man. Today is August 17, 2026. TTB After Dark. This is your boy TTB. Taryn the Black. If y'all don't know who I am, I've been off this whole all last week. Lots of stuff been going on. Got a couple updates before I go any further, man. Like, share, and subscribe. And if y'all watch the replay, please leave a comment so I get in this algorithm, man. I really appreciate it. But here's a couple updates. You see that? Yeah, I rebuilt my PC and stuff. And I had a little technical difficulties and everything, you know what I'm saying? But that's how it is. So I know I've been doing shorts on and everything. Yeah, that's what I've been working on. I ain't really been feeling well either. It's just been a clusterfuck all last week. And that's what I've been doing. I've been letting everything play out on the YouTube streets, staying out the way. But, oh, shit, let me do this. Yeah, like that. That's good. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to, man. Before I go any further, man, on my content, man, I got a couple stories I want to go through. You should see the thumbnail. RP to the homie Anthony, man. You know, I didn't get to say anything last week. It kind of zapped I really wasn't feeling like going live last week anyway. But that was kind of blow. If y'all know, Anthony was a content creator, a YouTuber in the sector I'm involved in. And he was a young dude, man. A little funny young dude, but he was a young dude, man, 29. And something tragic happened to him, man. It's been a lot of stuff happening. We're gonna get on to the Hayden Pandarati. I can never pronounce the last name. Cheerleader from Heroes. We'll talk about that and it's a lot of death going around, man. Hey, I'll say this, man, like being a person, I don't want to make it all about me, being a person that buried my uncle and my mother-in-law this year, you know what I'm saying? And I was really close to, man, cherish the people you love, man, for real. Because, I mean, life, somebody said this, I think it was a quote, man, like life does go on, but your time here is short. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people say life is short. Life out is constant. Everybody, it's somebody's life is going on around you. But your time here, well, your time is short on this earth. It kind of hit different for me because like it made me. This is one of the reasons it's hard for me to even be mad at people anymore like I used to be. I used to have anger issues really hardcore back in the gap. But a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of introspection, me trying to figure out why I was so angry, helped me get through the anger. And a lot of times when you frustrated with people, you frustrated with how people not giving you the love that you giving them. Sometimes, man, it discourages you. But the reality is, man, like you still have an impact on people's lives. You know what I'm saying? What's up, about you? Yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, you still impacting people's lives. Like even you gotta remember that, man. Like what do when these one constant thing with these two funerals I went to this year, man, is the good stuff people said about the folks that was lost. Like there wasn't that wasn't like even with the negative things was in jest or something like it was a part of somebody's personality, but they still loved them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly aware of how I'm being portrayed on this YouTube streets from myself, like my actions. Like nobody can control your actions but you. You know what I'm saying? And I just sit back and like, man, I want them to be able to pull up one of these videos and be like, "Oh man, Taryn was a real good dude, man. He told it like he is from his point of view, but he didn't really have a hateful bone in his body." That's why I want them. I want people to say about me, man. I want people that like this is what I get from my job. Like even Zeus when he first met me, he was like, "Man, you was standoffish. You didn't say anything. I thought you didn't like. I thought you want to like really rock with people." But I'm like, man, I learned from I got veterans in my family. I learned from veterans like the first person to talk probably don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of peep game before you say something, peep the atmosphere a little bit. Then okay, yeah, now here's your anger. Here's what you not anger in a bad way, but just here's how I could conduct myself in this room or whatnot. You don't want to be the first to speak, first to do things. Cause like a lot of times when things don't work out, I mean that's part of your credibility, but that's another story. But overall, man, like just people are gonna pull up your YouTube, like man, like when you go, when your heart start beating, right, and your family members, if you got family, your family members gonna be like, man, how can we actively, explain how he was? Your YouTube should be one of your main things. People could just go grab and be like, "Oh yeah, he had a YouTube channel. And he used to talk about sports. He used to talk about politics. Man, he knew the comic book stuff. That dude knew a lot of stuff. He really went. That's why I want people to say. I'm not saying I know everything, but I want to be a person that's knowledgeable at least, or at least point you to somebody that knows something, or be asset in the room for advice, information, anything. Just like, hey, you can do this. Hey, you can do that. I want to just be useful in the room, no matter where I'm at. I don't care if it's a room full of white folks, black folks, Asian folks, Mexican folks, Hispanic folks in general, African folks, because if black and African is two different things. If people don't know that. Just in general, I want to be an asset to anybody. If they want to ask me something, I can at least be knowledgeable. And that's how I want to portray myself. But like overall, like Anthony, every time, even when he had bad, when he was part of a little beef and a little drama and stuff, man, it was all in jest. It was never soup. He was young, man. It was never. I never thought it was like spiteful just to do things. He was having fun on the internet, man. And that's why I remember him just always having fun, always smiling on here, man. Even though, he probably had some issues offline or whatever, like we all do. But like he seemed like he was a happy dude, man, for real. It's just sad that happened to him, man. Like it could happen to any of us. That situation, I don't know the full extent. I don't know if it was like a rock. I still haven't heard full things on it. Yeah, he was only 29. And I'm thinking back when I was 29, I just got married to my wife at 29, which is crazy. Thinking about it, like, yeah, I mean, it's insane thinking about it, like how I was, like me and my wife, we were going to the gym hardcore. We were foodies. I mean, we was pretty much the everybody go to figure out where the good restaurants at because we knew everything. But like, dang, it just 29 ain't that far away from me, man. Like I'm 42, but just imagine, man, 29 and lose and not get to enjoy life because there's a lot of life to enjoy, man. And it's a sad situation. It messed with me last week. I'm not gonna lie. It messed with me. It made me hug my daughters and all of them. Make sure I was present because seeing somebody that young. And I got, like I said, I got nephews not that far away from 29. You know, like one of my nephews that I mean, he is mid 20s already, and his chick, his girlfriend, whatever, they getting serious. They doing so. Everybody like again like I don't know how like we gotta help these young brothers, man. We always gotta lift them up, man, to a point where they could be productive. I feel like you know he almost kind of fell through the cracks a little bit, but still he had hope. He had a he he was on the right path. I think he was going to the right path. It just we gotta stay on him, man. We don't want to lose. Like we are that. They used to have that song with Ice Cube and Public Enemy did "Dangerous Species" back in the gap, man. And that was like one to me on American Most Wanted. That's one of the best songs on there. That and the first song, best two songs on the album because it was real. Like we we got to treat each other better in general, just because like we all we got. You know what I mean? I'm talking about black men. We all really we got. Like everybody looking at us sideways. They either afraid of us or intrigued by us. And we gotta get to the young dudes like, hey, I understand like y'all want to run up the score in the ops or want to get a quick lick or whatever you want to go do, right? But the thing is, man, it's better ways out here to get the bag in a more positive and community building way, and still be able to get what you want to get in life. Like that's just the truth of the matter, and that's why I was trying. Like when I talk to people, you want to go back to the hood and every now and then and see some of them cats, man. I'm like, man, hey, it's more out here. It's more out here, man. And thankfully, in my hood, a lot of people around in my age group went back because like we saw the generation before us, like Gen X in the hood, they were doing all the gang banging hardcore. They were doing all this stuff, doing want to be men society all the time, whatever, want to be old dog. And we saw how that just wiped out the that generation when it comes to like being successful, having a successful life and whatnot, right? And a lot of us saw that and we was like, nah, you know what? We're gonna go get this. If we ain't do nothing in college or we ain't doing nothing military or sports or whatever, we're gonna get the CDL to make it happen on these roads. And a lot of people got their bag. And I'm proud to be a part of that change. That's why, like a long time ago, when I remember when it was me, CB3, Thumbnail Lady, I think Phoenix was on there. we were going through each other hoods, right? I don't know if Phoenix was up there. We were going to each other hoods, and my hood looked like it didn't look like a hood. And it was a reason because our generation kind of got to understand, like, nah, we ain't trying to be up in because when George Bush when he was governor, he did mandatory minimums on gun violence. Everybody started rethinking, like, hey man, do we really want to play that game? Because they wiped out. I'm talking about they soaked up all the OGs that was in the hood at that time. They soaked every last one of them up, and maybe one escaped the cracks a little bit and got their life together. But everybody else, they soaked them up so fast, and then now they on YouTube, which is crazy. Like Charles on White arguing with them. This is fun. That's the crazy part about it. But that's another subject. But hey, I'm gonna go ahead and start my content. But just remember, man, like hug your loved ones, man. Make sure they good, man. Speak life in them. I mean, sometimes we don't need to hear what we need to do. We need to hear where we need to go. You know what I'm saying? What we need to do. Everybody know what they need to do. They hear they wake up in the morning, look in the mirror. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to lose weight. I need to do this. I need to change the oil and tire. What's up, Phoenix? I need to do all that stuff. I need to do all. We know this. It frustrates us because, like, we know a lot of us know what we need to be doing, but either choose not to do it or things get in the way for you not to do that. So that's gonna be a touchy subject. But if you inspire people where they could go, like people be over here like I remember people like, man, why did you get a Mustang? You could go get something practical like a truck and everything. This is that, which is true. I'm not debating that. But the thing is, I wanted something. Number one, Mustangs got any car that got community. I'm talking about Mustangs, Corvettes, any Mopar situation that got like a avid community. BMWs, you know, like the M2, M4s, and all that stuff. They got communities, right? What the resale value stays around faster, longer than just your everyday. I mean, trucks do at some point. Like you got to lift the truck and whatever. You can always resell that for over what's it's worth because it's been lifted or whatever on the most part. But I get that because number one, that's a conversation bringer. Like if I'm going and I see somebody that's not really where they need to be at, but they ain't really lost. They just in this limbo. Like, you know, they be like, man, how did you get there? I say, oh yeah, I work for this. I went to go do this, or hey, you know, go get you know, CDL. Get your stuff together, man. You might need to lay out the weed a little bit. Just vibe off that a little bit. Just chill and go get your stuff together. Then when you get your stuff together, you can make time for that when you want to. But when you get your stuff, the trick is when you get your stuff together, you ain't gonna really want to do that all the time. You're gonna pick and choose when that go down. But in general, though, like when you get your stuff together, all of a sudden your stuff that you got together is your addiction or is your drug of choice or whatnot. And then you find out like all the hoes you was fucking with, they don't like the fact that you just not at that spot that they like you in. So a lot of them gonna just fall on the wayside. They're gonna go to they either gonna continue to get ran through it, they're gonna get their life together, and you're not gonna be y'all gonna just move grow past each other, you know what I'm saying? One way or the other. People don't know that, man. Like when you level up, man, shit just change. Like for example, you been a skinny dude all your life. Like I used to be skinny, and you start lifting weights and like start taking care of your shit. Shit just people start changing around you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things come easy or harder. But hey, I'm getting past myself, man. Yeah, RP to the boy, the homie Anthony, man. And I'm about to get in some more stuff. But before we even get in there, let's do some lighthearted stuff because it gets today might get a little heavy. So this fun it's funny, man. This dog right here like Snoop Dogg. That's what, that's cold blooded. That's how my wife be. And when we the other day, man, we had the windows down on my Mustang. The kids finally went to school and whatnot. So shit, we went to go help Hash Kitchen. Y'all know Hash Kitchen is love. That's where I had. That's where they had the Bloody Mary bar at. I didn't get Bloody Marys, but yeah. So somebody was on the side of the road. It wasn't like a homeless person or anything. It was just somebody trying to sell something. And we had the windows down. She looked at him and just rolled the windows up. I'm like, you mean? I'm just shaking my head like, she's like, I don't like talking. It was just like this. That's why I pulled it. It was just like that. She rolled the window because I had a future. You know, when the kids go, now you can play the future. I could play the big ass home, big ass plug. I could play UGK, all kinds of fun shit. So she was in our zone, man. She like, oh, I'm back. We were dating. She was happy. So, I don't say this clip. I say that for. So, we gonna get in some. This is the heavy part. So this clip been going around. So last night, man, I believe I was. Yeah, they so before I get in this, they start the second week of August in by Memorial Day. Like Memorial Day week is pretty much a dead week. My elbow been kind of fucking with me. I don't know why I did. So this has been going around. Like last night, I found out about Hayden Panettiere. And by the way, Hayden Panettiere, I'm gonna tell y'all sisters this, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Hayden Panettiere, Topanga, Scarlett Johansson, especially Scarlett Johansson during the island in the first Avengers. That Scarlett Johansson. This latest one, I don't know, but that one, look, she gonna take your dude. They gonna take your dude. If you had a brother, we used to talk about when Heroes came out. That was a point of contention at the barbershop with this lady. R.I.P. to her. But she ended up being married to I don't know if they still married. One of the Klitschko brothers. I don't know what went down with that. But yeah, I mean, great actress. Great actress. But this been going around, and I'm not putting nothing with this. I'm just gonna play it, okay? Because we ain't gonna start this Me Too stuff over again. Vladimir, yeah, she was Vladimir. But let's read.
There's all of them. All of them.
You write about a moment in your career where a friend of yours takes you onto a boat. You're led to a room which has an older man in it, and then basically told to perform sexual acts. And
oh yeah, perspective completely shifted, and I realized that I was in danger. But by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. And it was that moment shook me and was shocking.
Imagine this, man. That's crazy. Imagine this. See, ladies, y'all biggest enemy is your homegirls. I hope you're telling your daughters that y'all biggest enemy is your homegirls, because like your homegirl, that's gonna be the main one judging you day in, day out on whatever you're doing, whoever you dating, whatever you're wearing. They constantly, even though they cool, they might be cool right there, but some of this, you gotta really make sure you got a good solid base on yourself. Well, I mean, you gotta, if you got dead around, man, you gotta be people, let him peep game. Cause like your homegirl will get you in so much bullshit just because she want to be the best chick in the group. If you ain't careful. I'm not saying every homegirl. Maybe you got maybe some solid chicks out here that might not, might got the mama bear mentality that, hey, nah, I mean, look, 36 in Hollywood. She started in Hollywood. She started in Hollywood when she was a kid. She was a child star. People don't know this. I believe she was in Remember the Titans. Matter of fact, let me no. Let me make sure. Uh, Nah, that's somebody else. Hold up. Heroes. That's our first thing was Heroes. Oh no. She was in One Life to Live. I didn't know that. Yeah, she was on Remember the Titan. She started at 10 years old. That's her first, like one of her first movies. Yeah, man. And like the thing is, I'm telling you right now, Genesis One, at the barbershop, there was so many brothers that had a crush on her. Her and Topanga was number one, number two when it comes to white girl. Like when they were like, all right, we got to talk about white girls. All right, hey, this, and this. Like, yeah. Hey, Topanga. It was either one of them two. It's just the way it is. So God talk.
And I was quite literally walked down, and I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening. So it took me, I was shocked. It took me by surprise.
So think about this soon. Her saying this, right? How many, and this is in her book, how many, I mean, we talk about Diddy, we talk about Epstein. There gotta be a whole bunch of these type of cats. Cause like, in the home, and like I said, your homegirl get you in these positions when, especially because like she's attractive lady. Like if any chick around her feel insecure, I mean, we gotta teach our dogs, hey, they will set you up. Because the thing is, if everybody like a lot of women, I was talking about this earlier. This is ironic we talking about this. But like y'all, the maturity level, it used to be a debate we had about. All right, they used to talk about women mature faster than men, and having daughters now and having understanding like with sisters and cousins and stuff like that. I think that's a misnomer. I think it's by survival's sake, I should say. Women are more social creatures at an earlier age than men. Because like a lot of us men, we are objective when it comes to anything. Like we want to do something to have a point. Like this is why the gaming industry is mostly men, because you playing a game to point A and point B. Let's say you gaming Madden, you playing to play football, relive that fantasy of being in a football game, understanding, and plus you understand the game, whatnot. Or you at a first person shooter, you're acting out a role in from your perspective as a soldier, as a somebody in sci-fi, this and that, right? You acting that out. So it's an objective to act out throughout the story, the whole hero trope and everything like that. So that's why if things like that appeal, like objects appeal to men. What made Batman, what made 007 or any of your heroes fucking Mission Impossible. it was the gadgets and everything. With that being said, right, I know I'm going on a little tangent, right? Oh yeah, Genesis. Jennifer Love Hewitt was a big thing too. Lisa Milano, I don't know. She's a little weird. Anyway, that's another subject. That's a Gen X talking point. With that being said, like it's harder. Like we see things. That's why like it's good to have good male role models, you know, in your family and promote them or whatever. Right when you see it, because we see people objectives more than the subjective. So reason I said that, like, how many people was in the same position as Hayden that they isolate her, because she sounded like she'd been isolated in this situation. Your homegirl only sees that everybody likes you. You light up the room wherever you go, right? You light up, and that's how a lot of these beefs and stuff happen, especially when it's a bunch of dudes who've been raised mostly with women. That's why you get some out of the little cattiness thing. It's because like they worry about things that they're not really supposed to worry about, but they worry about it anyway. Does that make sense? Like with a dude in that situation, like, all right, we going to a boat. Whose boat this is? That's number one. That's first question. Who boat this is? Oh, it's such and such. He's a big time agent of this and that. Okay. Now dudes get tricked up in this shit too, because they go and follow the bag. They don't know that bag come with, baby oil and shit, It's dudes fall victim to it too. But what I'm really looking at, like, it's gonna be some questions. And then if you ask questions and they get offended by the questions when there's reasonable questions, that might not be the party you want to go to. But like, then again, this Hayden, when this happened, she was 18 years old. And man, when I was 18 years old and there was a party on a boat, it was chicks. Oh yeah. I'm out of high school. Oh yeah.
Prize, and it was somebody led by somebody that I had grown to trust and see as a protector and somebody who had my back. And to be walked down, down the stairs, and it was as like a surprise, presented as though it was like a surprise, and it was this very small room, and she physically put me in the bed next to this undressed man who was very famous and had his hands like this, like this was just an average day for him.
Now, allegedly, a lot of people are saying her co-star, she was 18, that been Heroes time. Yep. I talked about that. They'll do, well, it's an industry party. That industry party shit. What's going to be interesting, I don't have this on a run sheet. Did you hear about Paramount is leaving California? Paramount and Warner Bros. When the merger go down, they're leaving California for good. You hear about that? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting where they go. So there's rumors they might come to Texas, which is crazy because I don't think y'all know, like, Las Colinas, a lot of like the post-production stuff was done here. A lot of post-production stuff was done in Austin. Houston, Houston, if there was a production done in Houston, like an actual production done in Houston, but more likely a lot of post-production was done either Austin or Las Colinas, close to where the Cowboys used to be at. He's had a whole studio area. He used to do a lot of TV miniseries type stuff, or you know, B-roll footage and shit like that there. But yeah.
And this is something that happens all the time. And I waited for her to leave, and I mean that lion in me, that fire in me, that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening.
That made her again with Vladimir Klitschko makes all the sense in the world now. Look at her demeanor. Man, it's a tragedy.
But I had nowhere to hide, and I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. On a boat, there was no jumping off.
That's in Hollywood. That's actually pretty normal. You hear me, Genesis 1, 18 and 30. And another thing, man, like when it comes to I think context matter too, man. Unfortunately, because like where we looking at in where we look at it in like regular world dynamics, right? An 18-year-old chick with a 30-year-old, in a lot of cases, is weird. All right, where it's not weird at, and it might be just the nature of fame. It's almost like how they looked at medieval times, right? Like in Game of Thrones, for example, I make that example. Like you're a woman when you had your first, situation on a time of the month. That's how they looking at it. And then they rules on statutory is, are you royal or not? Like if you're royal, like a royal blood or noble blood, and you mess with somebody that try to mess with you, it depends. That one depends. I ain't gonna say if you mess with, if let's say you in the royal family, you met in somebody of coming, like if you're not noble or anything, yeah, they're gonna treat that like it's a capital murder, a capital situation. It just different systems, really, which is, I know it sounds crazy even talking about it, but we gotta put things in context because like how Hollywood look at themselves and how like entertainment industry in general look at themselves as some type of nobility class where our rules as common folks don't apply to them. So when we hear 18-year-old dating a 30-year-old, you got to factor in they don't think nothing. They're like, well, she's 18. They're not looking at, well, life experiences, because their life experiences is totally different. Like if you're a phenomenal actor and you started at age 10 and you got to 18 and now you starring roles, the only people you really gonna want to date is probably directors or somebody that's 20, 30 years down older than you, just because of the whole, well, I'm dating my job opportunity. In a lot of cases, that's why a lot of dudes fall for. You'd be surprised who they dating starting out. Everybody jumping in cat, and that's the sick part of Hollywood, man. Like, in order to get those roles, you might have to date somebody 10, 15 years older than you, man, which is crazy. That's why I'm so right now. My daughter's a theater kid, man, and I'm like, man, I want her to go through her dreams, but I want to install some game to her, man, like to understand what demons come in all shapes and sizes, man. I like somebody could be kissing your ass, telling you that you so talk about how great you are being black and they're saying weird stuff, but they love bumming stuff. You gotta be real careful of that, man, because that's how you get in a situation where you're on a yacht and somebody way older than you think that, well, you here on my yacht, it's time to get down, and you might not want to get in those situations. Sometimes you gotta say no, like Cat Williams. Let's read.
off and swimming away, and there was nobody who was going to. I realized that there was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
It is all of them.
I'm not gonna get. Yeah, he's gonna get in the deep thing. So with that being, let me see this anymore. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Here's some more. Hayden suffered a cataract arrest following a suspected overdose at an apartment in South Carolina. Oh man, yes. Yeah, this is all preliminary. We'll know when toxicology and all that stuff, get through. This is sad, man. So, our hopefully, man, she. I don't know. I say welcome comments on that, man. RP to her. So, hold on. Give me one. You know what? I forgot to do this. Give me 1 second. Oh, shit. Give me some water. So, y'all know this is something that happened last week. Candace Owens had a debate with Andrew Wilson. If y'all know who, I've been living on the rock since 2015. You know who Candace Owens is? She's a commentator. Been going hard on Turning Point USA. She's been going hard on everything going on in the world right now, right? Especially with the Charlie Kirk assassination. I call it assassination because he was the activist. So, Andrew Wilson paid her $300,000 for this debate because he felt like she been kind of full of it, which that's his belief. So I got a couple clips of that debate, and PBD, Patrick Bet David, he was a moderator, and it's a lot of controversy with this. So let's see. Let's read.
Do you have any evidence that Erica Kirk or TPUSA participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I've never said they participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk. So how could I say that I have evidence they participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Okay. So then you don't believe that they did?
I never have said that statement. So I'm not going to get you to ask me personal questions about things that I've never said on record.
Okay, fair.
Your team is sending messages in the back saying they have a video they want to play.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what the video is. Yes, you said that there's a video you want to play that Candace said she has full confidence Israel was involved.
Yep.
Yeah. He said evidence that they killed him. I said this is why people think their involvement.
So
if they have the clip,
Yeah,
they can play the clip.
Yeah.
They're referring to a clip.
Yeah.
Via who? My guess is Pierre. Erica. I think that there's a reason Pierre knew that Charlie was dead first. I think there's a reason he was a priority. How? Why? I think France and Israel are involved.
Oh yeah, that was hard. But she kind of hurt her credibility, to be real with you. But hey, what I know.
In Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
Okay.
I also
Involvement.
I understand.
Yeah.
So you think you with full confidence, you think that
Yeah, I think
that
Israel's
France
involved.
and Israel.
Yeah, I mean, the person that gave me that thing that I reported said that French Foreign Legion were on the ground that day.
Mhm.
Again, this would be at a professional limitation for me to then go and probe that information that I handed over. I can't do that. I'm not
But
the
you
United
don't have
States
any
government.
positive evidence of that. Right?
Liz, I don't. Can you just stop? It's actually just like annoying to hear you keep saying positive evidence. I've just asked me what I think, and I just tell you, yes, I think they are
that's
involved.
a claim.
No, I said here's what I think.
I have every right
think-
to ask you about your claim.
Yeah, but
and if there's
I said,
positive evidence
in
for
this
your
statement,
claim.
I literally just said I think, and I am allowed to think. And
Yeah,
you
you're
keep
allowed to
saying, do
think,
you have
but you're making
positive
a
evidence?
claim.
I have tons of positive evidence that I'm allowed to think. Yes.
I agree. You're allowed to think.
Okay. So
Nobody's disputing whether or not
yeah, but
Candace
like
Owens is allowed.
That's what you call deflection. Here's what I hate. This is one thing you know what, people gonna be doing it more when I say this. When somebody be like, well, I have a right to do this. Motherfucker, I'm not disputing your right. I'm disputing, are you right? What the fuck are we talking about? Why are you telling me you have a right to do something? You got a right to do a whole bunch of things. I ain't challenging your right. I'm challenging you, are you right? That's a totally different. If I say, well, I have a right to criticize. Okay, I'm not saying you don't have a right to criticize. I'm saying, is your criticism valid? It's two different arguments. You saying I have a right to do anything that you have a right to do don't mean nothing to me. I need to know, are you right on your actions? Let's talk about the actions. Let's talk about your claim. Let's talk about, oh my God. That is a classic deflection. That's me talking to his girlfriend. Well, I have a right to go. I'm not asking you this fucking right. I have a right to go for one of your friends. Does it make it right for me to do it? No. But I have a right to do it if they will it, able and willing. It doesn't make sense. Like people that do that, it's a dumb deflection tactic. Pushing out what rights you have. You want to push out the Bill of Rights when you push in the corner and have to answer for something you claim. You know what I'm saying? It's the dumbest shit ever. That's a big pet peeve. Like I don't know, man. Let me just read. That shit pisses me off.
I think what I'm asking is if
not literally, but you know.
But
you have
what's your issue then? What is your issue with the statement?
evidence.
I think that Israel is involved.
That's not just what you said. You said
I
that
did say
it's with full confidence.
Yes.
You would think that if you had full
Can you have confidence
confidence
to think when you think?
If I said, for instance, I think I'm going to be late to work, right? With full confidence, I would say my evidence for that is that I'm 20 minutes away and I need to be there in 5.
Andrew,
that's how you would know whether or not you had full
I'm just
confidence.
Going to tell you something.
Hang on, let me finish.
Sure.
Let me finish. If it was the case that I said I have full confidence I'm going to be late to work, I would say my evidence that I'm going to be is that work is 20 minutes away, right? And I have to be there in 5. So I have full confidence. That's why I would think that. So I'm asking, if you think that Israel and France were involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you say with full confidence, I'm just asking for the evidence, or at least.
You know what, Genesis? Here's the problem. There is no way you could be prepared for somebody that's making things up in their head. You just saw an example of somebody asking this person that made a positive claim. That means if you make a positive claim, that means you can't argue the merits of that claim, right? He shouldn't have to be over. See, the trick is because she is making a lot of this up, or allegedly, I don't know for a fact, but like from what the evidence showing, what she's saying don't really add up. So instead of saying, you can't really get her on, hey, that doesn't add up. That's not part of the evidence. Well, you just shitting you just shield for the Fed slop they gave you, which makes no sense. Like, the thing is, with how our government is, it's so many fucking leaks anyway. What Candace came to debate, he came to be an irritation. No, he came to be like, okay, yeah, all right, look, the facts is not with you in this situation. Therefore, I'm challenging these facts that you present, you claiming. So I need you to prove what you're saying to me. So, you know, because the thing is, if whatever you claim, if you can't prove it through scrutiny and stuff, I mean, it's gonna be looked at as a lie anyway. That makes sense, Genesis one. So Andrew doing what he's supposed to, he's doing, he's speaking for a lot of people, even though it is impossible to be hold up. What's going on? Nothing. It's impossible for him to be prepared for anybody like this, because to be prepared in debate, there got to be an understanding of facts and evidence at that point. Like it got to be a generalized, okay, here's the evidence that we're working from in this situation. It got to be agreed upon or whatever. See, she never agreed upon any evidence. So all this is hearsay, all this is speculative at best, conjecture, all the whole nine, right? So it is impossible for him, and his goal isn't to beat her, because he technically, her not answering any questions made sure Andrew Wilson won this. So he's not really winning. He winning, but not really winning. His goal is to expose her flipping, brazen, making things up. Candace is making a lot of this shit up, because none of the facts are lining up with what she's saying. She's making a lot of this shit up, allegedly. And I'm just saying, like, when you make positive claims, you gotta have something go along with it, man. You can't just be like, well, I think, okay, you think the French had something to do with it. Okay, what's the agenda for them to do anything to Charlie Kirk? You know, where's the motive at? Like, for example, the biggest thing going on with the Nolan thing, like, I'm like, okay, y'all suspect foul play, all right. All right, do y'all have a suspect? Do y'all have does the island have cameras? Is there eyewitness testimony that somebody did something towards him, or they bumped against each other or something like that at the party or whatever? Is there anything that shows that it's going to be somebody had an issue with them? Have he had issues prior to even going out that we mean, did he get in a fight at school or something? Maybe something happened with somebody he already had squabble with. When we got to ask all these questions. We just gonna be like, well, he hang out with a group of white boys on a boat and something happened to him. And not even saying that he wasn't the only black person on the boat initially. It was another homie was on there, another brother was on there with him, and they both left. Like, we don't hear all this stuff. So when people make claims, people make things in the head allegedly, you get everything but, okay, a good sturdy point of trying to figure things out. It makes me question, does she really want to figure out what's going on, or does she want to just, grip the system? Which, that's what Andrew's attacking, really. Let's read.
Walk me through the mindset of why it is that you could think that with
I actually
evidence.
don't have to walk you through why I think. I can give you something that
Why not? You made a positive claim. Why? Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You could bark like a fucking chicken all we care in this debate. Doesn't make you more credible or your point more valid. I mean, do you want your point to be valid, or do you want just it somewhat? It's multifaceted. So when you're dealing with somebody that constantly move the goalposts, constantly don't want to stand on a position, you're not going to necessarily get them to say, oh, I'm wrong on how I'm conducting myself. You're not going to get that. What you will get is people realizing the goalposts keep being moved, they not standing on business when it comes to their talking points, it hurts her credibility throughout like her audience and everything like that. If they do give a fuck about her credibility, see, it's a case. It's one of them things where like a lot of people just watch Candace because she's cute. I'll keep it a buck. She's attractive. And a lot of people just it's a weird psychology, and it's like where some people are addicted to the true crime thing. And that's a universal thing. Yeah, you got that part. Then some people will just sit back and listen to somebody they find attractive. It is what it is. So Andrew Wilson's goal is to get people who were on the fence or slightly in the in group to be like, hold up, that doesn't make sense. That's his whole point. And she's helping them out because if she believed in what she really thinks, she could be able to answer questions throughout anybody. Like, I have a political belief, right? I'm pretty much center right, libertarian, like right, while like slightly in the enterprise libertarian, slightly in like conservative land, social belief system, whatever. So when somebody come ask me about what I think about the role of government in our schools, I don't think there should be a role of government in our schools. That should be more privatized, in my opinion. Just because, and then the role the government can play is when people fall through the cracks, you'll be there to kind of like the turn of schools and stuff like that. That's my belief system on that. Like I believe more market-based solution in education is the overall what will overall make the education system better, either through scarcity, through innovation. Scarcity breeds innovation. So that's just my belief system when it comes to school education system. Or like when it comes to foreign affairs, right? I'm like, make it make sense to me. That's my point. Like us bombing Iran makes sense to me because Iran been talking shit and they've been fucking with trade, and they've been a tool for our enemies for the last 47 years. So that makes sense to me. Ukraine doesn't make sense to me because they didn't go out and do the right thing like Taiwan did and make our environment be placed in law. So if we give up our weapons or whatever we got, they nukes at that point. They need something to write and say, all right, Russia, come fuck with us. We need your aid because we can't defend ourselves now. That's why I look at Ukraine a different way. That's just my belief system. She's not really standing on her belief system. She's standing on where I have a right to have this belief system, which makes no sense, and it's just a deflection. Anybody that just always lean on the rights of doing something, or I don't have to do this and I don't have to do that, that means she's either being disingenuous or she can't back up her claim, point blank. And that's the problem I'm having with Candace. She's not backing up her claim. Yes. Genesis 1. Let's keep it a buck. I mean, I'm not saying she does. I mean, Candace Owens got some good points when she was dead on right when the George Floyd thing, because like nobody knew he had that shit in him really, like officially. Like people speculated, but officially she found that out. She called that out. I mean, she got good points and stuff, but on this, she's using the true crime thing going on situation. You got a lot of true crime stories going on, and I'm telling you this: a lot of people, when they see attractive person in general, let's take the woman part out of it. Attractive person talking about something they like, they're gonna go and watch that just because the attractive person saying something they like, they into. It's imagine somebody. I mean, it's this point. It's almost marketing one-on-one type shit right there, man. And look, I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm just saying that's the main reason. Like, think about it. Man, my people got mad at me and my family saying that. Like, even with Jasmine Crockett, right? I'm like, shit, Jasmine Crockett, she 60%. She had it in the lock 60% wise, right? If she just had some policy and I ain't say lower the sass, but pointing to the right places, she probably could have took Tederico, because Tederico, he's a true believer in that shit, and that's gonna be the death knell in this campaign, is because he's a true believer. Like Crockett, like if she could have legit beat Tederico if she wasn't just harping on Trump so much. She in Texas, which is not going to win you anything. She would have been talking about, all right, economy, all right, you know, this war that's about to happen, or this and that, and start talking about some real shit. Oh man, she'd have a better running at the Senate. We'll have to worry about them. But like Candace, here's the thing, man. Candace been right on other things too. That leads her more credibility on things that, you know, seems kooky right now. Like this whole her theories on the Charlie Kirk thing, man. Just you know, weapons and all this stuff. It just some of the stuff just doesn't make sense. Like it's almost like, okay, like people that believe in flat Earth, right? When you point out, okay, only way you factor in the curvature of the Earth when it comes to like this or something, or planes have to fly a certain way. They can't fly straight because you have a thing called jet stream, which goes around the whole damn world. By that, and then why haven't they found the edge of the world, quote unquote, if that was the case? Because like this might be the best time in the world where you could buy a yacht and sail around the world if you want to. Oh no! Again, don't misinterpret. Please don't think I'm just saying like because she's attractive, that's the only reason she getting attention. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that helps a lot of times. That helps you get in the door in a lot of cases. That's what I'm saying. It's not a negative. It's really politics 101, market shit, branding 101. So I mean, like I said, she and it hits so many different areas. But like I said, what she's doing now, what she's doing right here, well, I have a right to do this. I have a right to do that. That doesn't help her argument, in my opinion. Because when I hear that, I was like, oh, you don't want to defend it. No. I'm not. I mean, not her position she in now. Yeah, yeah, that goes without saying. But the thing is, and I know this is a harsh truth, man. Like, I don't keep it, but her talking about if she talking about Charlie Kirk and she was looking like Rosie O'Donnell. No offense to Rosie O'Donnell. No, she's not getting the viewership she's getting. Let's keep it a buck. Because the thing is, it's like this, right? It's like a movie, right? Most of summer blockbusters don't get Academy Award winning nods, right? But the thing they do get is they win the box office. Because the reality of a summer movie blockbuster is the fact that it's gonna show a status that's gonna constantly bring you back to watch that said movie or whatever to make it a blockbuster. Like most blockbuster people see it multiple times. And that's the whole notion of sex sales and stuff. Like, you can't tell me that's not a select group of people that's just watching Candace because she's hot. Can't tell me that because I know how dudes are. I know how some lesbians are. Like they'll just they'll listen whatever the hell you gotta say because you attractive, which is cool. That's their business. But she got a lot more merit from other things she did that gives her credence to say what she's saying right now. The problem is she's not backing that up, so this is gonna damage her credibility. Because people who actually care about the shit, let's take the superficial thing, but that follow her because of the politics she was displaying and everything like that, right? When they hear stuff like, you're gonna have a select few people gonna be like, I don't know, man. She's not really defending this. And this not the only time this happened. When she went to Joe Rogan, back when Joe Rogan was in Cali, and he challenged her and stuff, she stumbled in. And then I have a long memory. I remember when she was part of the left, it was advocating censorship at one point in time. And getting real being anonymous on the internet. Like everybody should get the internet should be connected to their ID. She was on board on that stuff. That's, to me, that's kind of intuitive to the conservative cause in a lot of cases. But then, people see the error of their ways. So what I'm basically going with this is that there's a lot of things that help her get to where she at it's hard for me to follow her on this one because of the stunts she's pulling right now. Well, when somebody asks you a question, you want to point out you have a right not to answer. You have a right not to do this. That's not going to help your case, and that's not going to help people. That's going to actually hurt. Let's say the dude who they accused of doing it actually wasn't doing it, right? Hypothetically speaking, because he's in the court of law. I'm not going to say he is or isn't, right? What if he was the one that actually did it, and the way you're conducting business right now might help him get off? It's just crazy for me to think about that. Let's read.
I think with full confidence that you lost the substance of this debate, and now you're moving toward things that I have said that I think, which I can do.
They're pertinent to this debate.
It's not exactly pertinent to this debate.
100% pertinent.
It's not pertinent because our debate
These are claims made about Charlie Kirk's assassination. That's the complete substance of the debate.
No, actually, would you like to remind him of what our debate claims actually were?
And would you like to remind you said I could ask you about any of these things to my heart's content?
Feel free, but you do not get to structure how I'm allowed to reply or ask me why are you allowed to
structuring how you're allowed to reply. I'm just asking you direct questions.
I have full confidence that you do not feel that you represented your claim well. And so now what you came prepared to do is to present yourself like a professor of fallacies.
I just want to know.
And to say, you're not allowed to say that. You can't.
You can say whatever you want. Nobody's disputing that. I'm asking.
It seems like you are disputing
I'm asking specifically why.
She's doing it again. That's a deflection tactic. If y'all know deflection, that's deflection 101. You attack, somebody asks you a question, and you say, I have a right to think the way I think. Okay, that's not the question. I'm saying, listen, man, Candace, that is not the only reason. That's not the only reason. That's one of the reasons. Because people watch people for multiple reasons. People watch ESPN for multiple reasons. People watch PBD for multiple reasons. People watch Tim Pool for multiple reasons. Everybody got their reasons. I was just stating a couple of them that keeps her in the line of being in positions like this. This is not anything sexist, anything. I even take the women out of it. It's some people it's bad actors right now. Just because women are attracted to them, they getting more praise than, let's say, somebody that that probably should have won 3 or 4 Academy Awards. It's the name of the game. Like, that's the whole point of sex selling. So it's not, and it's not the only reason. Like, I don't know why people always get my words screwed up on that, where especially when it comes to coming on woman looks. Like, I'm not coming on woman looks just to be an asshole. I'm saying it's a select few of people that no matter what she says, they gonna listen to whatever she's saying because they're attracted to her. Y'all don't know y'all power. And in reality, it's a lot. It might be. It's a true statement. A lot of women don't really understand their power. And there's like some people just listen to you because they like you. They want to talk to you. It's not. It's nature. It's not an issue. Like it's not like nothing to really. I mean, it's the reality of the situation. It's some. Like, think about her son Campbell. It's a bunch of women and some dudes that just will listen to whatever the hell he got going on because they're attracted to him. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. That's to quote Black Jazz, that's human nature. Like, but like I said, that's not the only reason. Like most reason people still follow Candace and stuff is because of her politics and they align with her politics and they want to hear her perspective. It's just the reality of it. But I'm just saying that to be naive and say, she being attractive doesn't help her. That I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell the truth on that. But she's doing some of the debate things I can't stand. Like, again, she's going back to her right, and then you want to control my the way I answer things. I'm like, no, I just want a straight answer. That's what Andrew's saying, and I'm like, I don't know. I might shouldn't even watch this. Let's read.
It's all said and done. I've already explained to you. I explained at the beginning of this why I think Israel is ultimately going to be proven to have involvement in this. I just explained to you in the middle, and now you're wanting me to structure the sentence or provide evidence. You don't have to. You're just allowed to think. And I've explained to you my thought process. I don't need to.
All right, let's see. All right, and there's another one.
My feelings, how I feel about things, how I think about things. Andrew, how many times do you hear this today?
Evidence that we feel like
Sure,
that's fair.
but-
What do you feel
okay.
like? Let me help you. Where do you feel like I'm backtracking? Messages feel off. Feels like it's coming out too fast. Something feels
Okay.
off is why people don't feel good. You feel convinced by them. I feel unconvinced by them.
Okay.
That we feel like we can move forward. Did you feel like this is that you felt like you were convinced?
Right.
I feel like you. It's like feel that you have.
That's the. He's not being argumentative. He's trying to get to the point. Because this the problem with this debate is that it's subjective. The whole subjective objective. He has objective of like how are you coming up with these reasons? Where are your evidence to coming up with these reasons? This and that. That's why he's asking direct questions in a certain way. She's not trying to be hammered down by your pesky facts. It's about her opinion. That's what she's doing. I mean, that's just the reality. Like I said, that's the reality of what she's doing right there, man. Like, she wants to. You can't really debate anybody's feelings. And her coming to a debate talking about her feelings. If he said, "Well, I don't really give a damn about your feelings. I don't need to know where or the facts that you can't." Like, we could all feel a lot of stuff. But if there's nothing that comes by it or there's no evidence that back up your feeling, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, some people are like, well, that's your feelings. Of course it matters. Yeah, it matters to you, but does it really matter in the grand scheme of things because it's not based off anything factual or based off anything that got substance to it. I don't know.
have. I do not feel that you sufficiently feels underwhelming. If you feel bad for her, this part to me feels like I'm answering the question as I feel like I want to answer. This feels like a conspiracy. It doesn't feel right. You do not feel, if you feel like a professor today, well, I feel like, do you feel feels weird to think, I feel confident he's involved. Didn't feel confident how we all feel about her. Feel like if you think that she's dumb, that's why it feels like, well, I just feel like that. I feel like I said, I feel like now you're just kind of, Erica, I feel like
it was three.
I hope your team feels fulfilled. Things that we feel are, I feel that
Yeah. And so Andrew probably, I get what he tried to do, man, but like that might not have been the best play in general, just because you're not going to debate. You're not going to beat anybody in a debate when they rely on their feelings way more, and they rely on how they, they vibe and feeling, the whole nine. You're not going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he paid $300,000. He have a right to
Here's why.
He have a right to be argumentative. I'm like, you pay 300 stack 300K for that.
You know who I will say won? Here's who I will say won. I think both of them won, and I'll tell you why they won. But I think Candace won because she got the money and she presented her argument. And in an area where she conceded, she says, I don't know why you're playing this video. I already conceded to you. And I said, yeah, I was wrong. And she did that. So that was good for her to do that. And I think she got in front of an audience and moved some people that probably don't watch her content. Remember, baptizing is key. Baptizing is key. And I think Andrew Wilson won because, let me explain it to you how much he won. And I think he won more than Candace won. And my argument's going to be very, very weird. You ready?
Go ahead.
You ready? This guy spent $300,000 and got somewhere between $50 to $200 million of ad viewership.
Yeah, great point.
So guess what?
He's a big winner.
My wife at home says, who was the guy? I'd never seen him before. My dad says, most people, his YouTube channel only had 180, 200,000 subs.
Yeah.
Very good, eloquent. I've had him on. He's been on Rogan a couple times. So he's getting the momentum. I think Andrew Wilson won because for everybody that says, what an idiot to give $300,000, I think it's the same story as Kanye spent $7 million on an ad for Super Bowl and sold $25 million of merch. I think Andrew Wilson won because overnight now everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Very simple. So from the business standpoint, Andrew Wilson made a lot more than $300,000.
I agree with that. Because the thing is, man, like Andrew he come with some crazy arguments sometimes, man, but you learn some game from Andrew sometimes, man. If you catch him on the right day, it's the reason why he been at Rogan's, man. So yeah, salute on both of them on that, man. I think we didn't really get anything out of that debate, but other than like, because here's the thing, you're not gonna beat somebody that's relying on their feelings. You're not gonna beat that. But the thing is, if his goal was to challenge her feelings, with actual something that go by there, like she made a lot of positive claims. I think she lost some credibility because like a lot of people kind of see through, like, all right, man, like when you start talking about France and Israel being a part of a conspiracy, you're like, okay, all right, where this going? That's why I've been here. Not just me. A lot of people like, man, I don't know about that. internet is very fickle. It's a very fickle place, man. And you might think you got it all together because everybody hitting up your stuff and everything. And next thing you know, oh yeah, we already knew this wasn't this and this wasn't that. I want to play this. I think I'll go ahead and get on a Stephen A. Smith thing. That's what I do. So if y'all don't know, Stephen A. Smith gave a bad award talking about the National National Association of Black Journalists. It's 23-minute video. I don't think I'm going there. It essentially he got booed at their little convention where he gave a lot of money. He do all kinds of stuff, but the board he got Roland Martin's on the board. It's just a clusterfuck, right? So before I get in this, I heard a little bit of this prior to. I hate I'm agreeing with Stephen A. because Stephen A. he has some of the worst sports takes ever. But on this, on politics and stuff, I mean, he's trying to give the left some game, but the thing is, they're not really willing to take it or whatever, right? So my standpoint on the left right now is that they don't have adequate masculine leadership in a party, and you can tell because of choices they did. Right now, they in the midst of a civil war when it comes to a political civil war, I should say, and the way they went about a lot of this right going on right now when it comes to politics is they not really hold on. Hey, just when I watched the whole thing, there's really nothing he can moderate on that because like I mean PBD did all right, man. It again, you're not that debate was not going to go better than what that was. And just because you're dealing with somebody that deals with want to deal with facts and want to deal with like understanding or whatever, and then people that say, "Well, I don't really need any facts. I just feel like something's not right with this." And I feel that something's not right with this. It's gonna grab way more people of all shapes and sizes to that person's argument. Here's you mean profit off so I don't think unless Andrews just constantly start talking about Charlie all the time, which I doubt he's gonna do because he got way more other things to talk about. If we make that the main, because like Candace had pretty much a different type of show for Charlie Kirk. Like she was dealing with a lot of political stuff, or like especially local political stuff and cultural stuff. She wasn't necessarily talking about Charlie Kirk before he passed for that assassination, right? So when she started harping on everything Charlie Kirk after he passed, that's gonna look weird. So what saves Andrew is the fact that now, if he chose to do it, now he could just go and debate everything Candace talked about in the theories and this stuff. He could just make his whole content about debunking what she's talking about and still still get his number or whatnot. So he's not gonna get accused just because if he's attacking her, if he's attacking somebody that everybody already deemed that she's profiting off of a charge like that, right? He's gonna look like the savior just by with that knowledge alone. The way you saying it right now alone, like they're gonna look at him like, okay, he's here to clean up the mess that's going on with what Candace may happen. So yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. So I guess when I go a little bit of this, I'm not gonna go too much.
NABJ did Saturday night or Friday night, whichever night it was. I believe it was Saturday night. It is BS. And I get a lot of people want to pile on and they want to jump on it because you have your own individual feelings about me. I'm here to tell y'all are entitled to that. Not the NABJ. You're not entitled to that. This is me we're talking about here. I am the same guy that brought a nationally televised show to a journalism conference, which is the NABJ, the last 2 years. Did you have anything to say about me then? Did I get a thumbs down then? First Take, a nationally televised show, which has been #1 for 14 straight years. We came to the National Association for Black Journalists in Chicago and Cleveland, back-to-back years. Of course, I got to thank ESPN for that. They're the ones that signed off on that.
You know what? I'm not going to go. Every people don't play this whole thing. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith on this. I feel for him a little bit. Honest God truth, though, this is my only pushback I have. If you're doing all this, and then when you are questioning stuff that's happening on the left, and they treat you this way, you might really need to sit back and rethink your support of this organization or in general, right? Because here's my thing, right? You have enough juice in this industry right now that if you want to make your own situation, your own your own little boy, a black journalist or whatever you want to do, you can do that. And you will be accepted in a lot of cases just because, you did put the work in some aspects of stuff. What would really, I mean, why I still deal with this, this situation, they're gonna disrespect you like that. There's a lot of YouTubers out there. I'm not saying myself, but there's a lot of YouTubers that you once upon looked down upon, but they could be the future of journalism. You're not gonna get good journalists out of anybody that's a group like this has been institutionalized or whatnot, right? So my standpoint is this: like, it's a lot of people you ticked off, a lot of people you did dirty, getting to where you at. That could actually put you where you could actually be a part of the change that you've been wanting for so long, but not gonna be able to change. My standpoint, you're not gonna be able to change still dealing with the same thing, trying to be cool with people who don't really like you when you push back and try to correct them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't necessarily agree with how his takes, but I see some of his points when it comes to politics, somewhat, believe it or not. And look, I've noticed. I know I've noticed, and like I said, like I'm not going to even diss him on this because like that left is dissing him already. I'm looking at it like, okay, if they kick you out the house, man, go build your own. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is with the left right now, is that the dudes they cherish right now is effeminate. You know, you could literally be the change you want to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm like this. Mend some of these fences. Like, hey, tell the truth to some people that you burn. Like, hey, man, you know what? I mean, this and that. Hey, I'm willing. All right, Genesis. Here's the thing, man. What makes Andrew different than Candace is the fact that Candace had a working relationship with Andrew, not with Charlie. I'm sorry, with Charlie. So with her having a working relationship with Charlie for years, then you're pretty much attacking the organization that he helped started. Right or wrong, I'm not here. It's gonna look weird when you in the grand scheme of things. So Andrew making that much money, debating the chick that's been disparaging one of the biggest conservative outlets in America. He's not gonna be looked at as he's making money off of Charlie Kirk's death. He's gonna be looking at where he's making money off getting some of the issues they got with her. I hope that makes sense to you. And personally, time will tell how they gonna be viewed. For all we know, Candace might be right on everything. We don't know. But let's read.
Specifically, now former executive Dave Roberts. It doesn't happen without him. It doesn't happen without ESPN. But you know who else it doesn't happen without? Me. Because if I'm not willing to show up, we ain't coming. But I was there. I was there not just to do the show. I also stood in the booth for over an hour doing the jobs fair.
You know what this is? I think Stephen A is actually hurt by them. I'm not gonna go through the whole, because honest God true. Me, I'm with Black conservative perspective. I mean, you diss me after I done put money in y'all organization, help y'all get on, and this and that. Oh man, hey, that's when Petty Tarrant come out like, all right, man, bet. I'm like, hey, I'm not associated with this board and this foundation anymore. And leave it at that. And somebody said, well, Stephen A. Smith gonna be nah, man, I'm good. So I think he's pretty much hurt on this, man. I don't even want to go through past this because I'm actually getting sleepy. So let's transition. So this is my last story here. Football season, we're in preseason round. So football is right around the corner. I'm debating how I'm going to do the show because Watchcott work different shifts now, and we kind of don't work day shifts anymore. So I don't know how I'm gonna work that. I don't know if we're gonna have a show this year. I'll probably just be doing something on my own. But Von Miller explains to Shannon Sharp why he chose to join the Dallas Cowboys and if they're still game-changing players like he was before this.
Man, when did you know that this was a possibility, and when did they finally close the deal?
Man, so they were the first team to contact me like a week before training camp. It had been like some talks about like the Cowboys like throughout the whole offseason, and it just seemed right for me. I live here in the offseason. My mom and my dad are here, my kids are here. I always had a little
shout out to Solo, Texas.
Blue on my heart since I was, a little boy, and
right.
I always paid attention to the Dallas Cowboys, and my earliest memory of playing football include the Dallas Cowboys. I heard my daddy screaming in the back, and I ran back there to see what was going on, and he was screaming because the Dallas Cowboys had scored a touchdown. So that's my earliest memory of playing football, and to be back, you know, here, to be back home is it's a dream within a dream. It's like Inception, you know, the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. My dream has always been to play in the NFL, and you know, to play for the Dallas Cowboys is a dream within a dream.
And most of the time, I think about some of the people. I'm not sure why they say, "Oh, Von Miller's old." Oh, we not the same Von Miller of old. What do you say to those people, especially with you having a productive season last year? You know, having 9 sacks, being able to come to the Cowboys. Obviously, you being from down there in Texas, how you feel? How's your body holding up? How do you feel a few years removed from ACL surgery?
Man, they can say what they want to say about, you know, my on the field production. But there's no question about it. I am the best teammate in the history of the National Football League. When it comes to being a great teammate, I just know how to do it. I've been doing it for a long time. I know how to bring the guys together. I know how to win my guys, you know, over. You know, every team that I've ever been on is not a guy in that locker room that'll say, you know, anything bad about me. And that's what I care about. You know, the guys that I work with. And I'll be able to do that here with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, they can say what they want to say. I'm worth, you know, 10 to 13 plays a game. I can win 10 to 13 plays a game, and that's with me not even stepping on the football field. Right. It's just the type of knowledge. It's just the type of knowledge of the game that I know, and to be able to get the guys to play around me to a level that they wouldn't normally play at. And that has nothing to do with the type of, you know, skill that I can bring on the football field. So being a great teammate, knowledge of the game, you know, that's 10 to 13 plays a game, and then I can still walk into 8 to 10 sacks now. I could. That's just walking in. That's just walking.
Talk your.
I hear you, Von. Hey, look, I'm not I'm not on the overhype train. I never been overhyper. I mean, football, like key injuries could ruin your whole season. But with that being said, like adding Von to the edge rusher room, man, that's a blessing right now, especially when you got all these rookies and stuff like that. And I mean, I think I'm curious on how this defense is going to be. If the offense stays that, I mean, it's ways the offense can get better while you playing. But right now, it's all about staying healthy, and I'm actually happy about this. All right, hold up. So, this is on First Take. I'm not gonna play. First thing first. His impact and his presence alone, being a champion, going to a defense with a new DC new scheme. None have ever won except now Von Miller. That's what he brings to the table. So yeah. Everybody, well, he been washed. Okay, whatever. We'll know. But hey, that's all I got for tonight, man. I'm gonna lay it down. I gotta first take a shower, then lay it down. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment on the algorithm. I appreciate everybody coming up, man. People in the back, you know, in the shadows, and you know, people interact. Shout out to you, Genesis One, Phoenix, and I think Bayou was in here. Shout out to. That's what I get for missing a week, man. Like a lot, I know a lot of people been wanting some different type of content other than nonsense. Genesis One, I don't keep it above with you. That's rough. Cause like that could go both ways, man. I'll leave that there. I don't rehash that. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we'll hear some more stuff going on. But hey, y'all like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Peace.